Hi, welcome back guys. This is your sensei, back with another fanfiction. This is the first part of What If Naruto Had Ninja Queen Harem? Now before starting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. Team 7 entered the Chunin exams, and as they walked into the exam hall, they were met by Rock Lee, who immediately challenged Sasuke to a fight. In a fit of jealousy, Naruto attempted to attack Lee but was easily brushed aside. The fight was interrupted by Might Guy, and Naruto noted the bandages around Lee's arms, which indicated his intense taijutsu training. During the first stage of the exam, the participating genin were given a written test, with the goal of cheating without getting caught. Unaware of this, Naruto struggled to answer the questions. Hinata Hyuga, seated next to him, offered to let him copy her answers. However, despite the temptation, Naruto declined her offer, insisting that he wasn't the type to cheat and that they might be disqualified if caught. Before the 10th question could be given, the genin were presented with the option to forfeit. Naruto firmly refused, declaring his determination to become Hokage and his refusal to give up. His resolve inspired the other genin to face the 10th question as well, and they all passed the first stage. It was later noted that Naruto was the only one to submit a blank sheet, but this did not prevent him from advancing. In the second phase, the teams entered the Forest of Death with the objective of obtaining a set of 2 scrolls, one of which they received at the start. During the chaos, Naruto became separated from his team and was suddenly attacked by a giant snake. The snake struck him, and as he lay on the ground, he thought about all the things he would miss and all the dreams he wanted to achieve. I can't die like this, he thought before losing consciousness. When Naruto awoke, he found himself in a white room, where he encountered an old man. The old man asked if Naruto wanted to live, to which Naruto replied affirmatively. The old man then spoke of bequeathing to Naruto the title of the Almighty, his reincarnation. As Naruto processed this, he fused with the old man. In the real world, a blue aura exploded from Naruto's body, releasing a significant amount of spiritual pressure. Nearby, Temari struggled to breathe, feeling the suffocating pressure. Gaara, shocked, realized that even his mother was afraid of the person emitting this pressure. Orochimaru sensed the pressure as well, noting that it was similar to killing intent but more potent. Others around them also struggled to breathe. After a few moments, the blue aura surrounding Naruto faded, and he ceased releasing the pressure. As the aura dissipated, Naruto's new appearance was revealed. He thought to himself that he needed to find his teammates before disappearing. To be continued. On his way to meet his teammates, Naruto encountered a team from the Hidden Rain Village. Bayu, a member of the team, demanded, "Brat, be a good boy and hand over your scroll." Naruto chose to ignore them and continued walking past. "How dare you ignore us?" Shigure, another member of the team, shouted. "Take this ninja art, Senbon Rainstorm." Shigure threw 5 umbrellas into the air. As they spun, the umbrellas released a flurry of Senbon, which rained down upon Naruto. All the Senbon struck Naruto, and Shigure smirked, "That serves you right." Despite the attack, Naruto remained unfazed and prepared to respond. Shigure's last words echoed in the air, "For ignoring us." Bayu, witnessing the scene, exclaimed, "What is going on?" He noticed that Naruto was unharmed, but Shigure was not. Naruto had just used the antithesis, a powerful ability that allowed him to reverse any events that had occurred between 2 targets. If he had been injured in battle, he could heal himself while simultaneously wounding his opponent. Ritter, confused, asked, "What just happened?" Suddenly, he found his arm transformed into sand. Naruto had activated the visionary, which granted him the power to turn his imagination into reality. He could make it so that the bones in someone's arm were made of sand, and it would become true. "I was feeling merciful, but you 3 just had to annoy me," Naruto said, glaring at them. Bayu and Ritter panicked and attempted to retreat, but before they could escape, their bodies turned to sand. "Weaklings have ruined my mood," Naruto remarked. He took the scroll from Shigure and decided to search for another scroll. Meanwhile, Sakura and Sasuke were engaged in their own battle. Sasuke pinned Orochimaru down and unleashed the Dragon Fire technique, hitting Orochimaru squarely. However, his joy was short-lived when he realized he had attacked a mere clone. Impressed by Sasuke's skills, Orochimaru branded him with a cursed seal of heaven before leaving. The pain from the cursed seal overwhelmed Sasuke, causing him to pass out. After Orochimaru's departure, Sakura resolved to take Sasuke to safety. Back with Naruto, he had just defeated another team and taken their scroll. He decided it was time to search for his teammates. As he leaped from tree to tree, he sensed a powerful presence nearby Orochimaru but chose not to confront him. After some time, he stumbled upon the sight of Sakura being attacked by the Sound Genin. Nearby, teams 9 and 10 watched helplessly as Sakura was beaten. Lee wanted to intervene, but Neji advised him to wait and see what Sakura had learned under Hatake Kakashi. Unfortunately, they were disappointed. She fought at the level of an academy student, showing little more than basic skills and tree climbing. Lee decided it was time to help, and Ino joined him to assist her childhood friend. However, their efforts were thwarted when Zaku unleashed a decapitating air wave attack aimed at Kin, who was being possessed by Ino at the moment. Shikamaru and Choji rushed in to save Kin, but they were quickly defeated by Zaku. Lee was also taken down by the vibrations from Dosu's gauntlet. Suddenly, a dark aura enveloped the area as Sasuke regained consciousness, dark purple chakra emanating from his body, marked by black flame-like patterns on his left side. Sakura was thrilled to see Sasuke awake, but the marks on his skin worried her. He wore a manic smile that reminded her of Orochimaru. Sasuke looked at Sakura and noticed her condition. "Which one of them did this to you, Sakura?" he asked. Zaku arrogantly declared, "I did, and soon you will be in the same state." Decapitating air waves. He launched a blast of compressed air at Sasuke, who stood still, showing no intention to dodge. Zaku smirked, "Humph, why do people even call him strong? I took him out in one attack." "Took whom out?" a voice whispered from behind him. Zaku turned abruptly to face Sasuke, who had grabbed his arms, placing his foot on Zaku's back. "You seem very proud of these arms, very attached to them," Sasuke said, pulling on Zaku's arms. What are you doing?" Zaku cried out in pain as his arms dislocated. "Looks like you're the only one left," Sasuke stated, moving toward Dosu. "Stop!" Sakura yelled, clinging to Sasuke from behind. "Please stop," she whimpered. Sasuke turned to her, and as he did, the black marks on his skin began to recede until they vanished. Seeing this, Dosu took Zaku and Kin and vanished in a flicker. Neji and Tenten emerged from the bushes, carrying the injured Lee as they left. Team 10 followed suit. Once the two teams departed, Naruto decided to make his presence known. "Well, look at you two, you look well." Naruto chuckled at the injured Sakura and exhausted Sasuke. "Who are you?" Sakura asked. "Can't you even recognize your teammate?" Naruto replied. "Dobe," Sasuke muttered. "Yes," Naruto confirmed. "He looks different," Sasuke thought. "Naruto, where the hell were you?" Sakura demanded. "I was busy collecting scrolls," Naruto said, pulling out 2 scrolls. "Where did you get those scrolls, Dobe?" Sasuke inquired. "Well, I killed the owners of these scrolls," Naruto answered, surprising both Sakura and Sasuke. "If you are done asking questions, let's finish this exam," Naruto said, creating a clone to carry Sasuke while he took Sakura on his back. After a brief time skip, they arrived at the tower without any trouble. Inside, they found a scroll with writing hanging from the wall, which Sakura began to read aloud. "If qualities of heaven are your desire, acquire wisdom to take your mind higher. If earthly qualities are what you lack, train your body and prepare to attack. When heaven and earth are open together, the perilous path will be righteous forever. This something is the secret way that guides us from this place today." "Something?" Sasuke questioned. "It looks like there is a word missing or something," Sakura replied. "I think it means we should open the scrolls now." Naruto and Sasuke each opened a scroll, which exploded into smoke, revealing a man once the smoke cleared. "It's you," Sasuke said. "Hey guys, long time no see," Irika said with a smile. "Irika-sensei, what are you doing here?" Sakura asked. "I'm here to welcome you back and congratulate you on passing the second phase of the Chunin exams," Irika explained, turning to Naruto. Naruto, is that you? Yes, Irika, Naruto replied. Why do you look so different? Irika asked. That's a secret, Naruto said with a grin. Irika then explained the purpose of the second exam, which was not only about survival but also about testing the integrity of the ninja to refrain from reading classified documents, or in this case, the scrolls. Afterward, he bid them farewell as they entered the tower's inner area. Naruto discovered that Kiba's team had already arrived, as well as Gaara's team. A few hours later, Team Guy entered the tower. Naruto approached Lee, saying, "There is something I want to discuss with you in private." Naruto looked at Lee and asked, "Who are you?" Naruto, Lee replied. They both noticed that Naruto looked different. "Sure, let's talk," Lee said. Naruto touched Lee and used Herenkyaku, an advanced Quincy movement technique that allows the user to move at high speeds by gathering Reisher under their feet. Neji thought to himself, what does he want with Lee? Tenten observed, he looks handsome now. With Naruto, they appeared at the location where Naruto had awakened. What did you want to discuss? Lee asked. I want to give you power, Naruto stated. Power? Lee said, unconvinced, recalling how he had easily defeated Naruto before. Seeing Lee's skepticism, Naruto decided to release his Reiatsu, his spiritual pressure, upon him. This pressure. So it was Naruto who released it before, Lee thought, struggling to breathe. Naruto stopped releasing his Reiatsu. Do you believe me now? Naruto asked. Why would you want to give me power? Lee inquired. You are one of the few people I have chosen to bestow my power upon, Naruto explained. What do you want in exchange for your power? Lee asked. You are to serve me, Naruto replied. No thanks. I don't need your power. I will continue to use my own, Lee insisted. Well, your power is disappointing. You couldn't protect Sakura, even though you swore you would, Naruto pointed out. Lee thought to himself, he is right. I am pathetic. I always told myself I would become a splendid ninja, even if I couldn't use ninjutsu or genjutsu. I wanted to prove that hard work could overcome talent. With my power, you will be able to close the gap between you and those with talent, Naruto offered. I would be able to beat Neji. I would also be able to protect those I care about, Lee thought. Lee bowed his head, and Naruto smirked. Naruto created a cup and used a kunai to cut his wrist, pouring his blood into the cup. Lift your head, Naruto instructed. Lee looked up as Naruto offered him the cup. Lee hesitated, thinking, I guess I have to drink this, before he drank the blood. I bestow upon you the letter I, the iron, Naruto declared. Lee felt power welling up inside him, gaining knowledge of how his power worked. How do you feel? Naruto asked. I feel great. What is this power that I feel? Lee responded. That's your Ryoku, your spiritual energy, which has increased. You have also become a Quincy, Naruto explained. A Quincy? Lee echoed. Naruto took the time to explain what a Quincy is and then gave him a Quincy cross. I hope you will serve me well, Naruto said. Yes, Naruto-sama, Lee replied. Before we go back, I will teach you 2 techniques, Naruto continued. He taught Lee how to absorb Reisher from the surrounding area to create weapons, as well as the Herenkyaku. Though Lee didn't master the techniques, he was able to use Herenkyaku a little bit and practiced his abilities. Later, they returned to the tower. Lee, what did he ask you? Tenten inquired. Nothing important, Lee said. What are you hiding, Lee? Neji thought. The next day, the sound team arrived. Later, Team 9 arrived as the last team. Naruto greeted them. Who are you? Shikamaru asked. I am hurt, Shikamaru, that you don't recognize me, Naruto replied. Shikamaru looked into Naruto's blue eyes and said, Naruto, realizing he was the only blue-eyed person he knew. Correct, Naruto confirmed. When did he become so handsome? Ino said out loud. Thank you for the compliment, Naruto said with a smile, causing Ino to blush. Ino, there is actually something I wanted to talk to you about, Naruto said. What do you want to talk about? Ino asked. Let's go somewhere private, Naruto suggested before touching her, and they disappeared. What does he want from Ino? Shikamaru thought. Ino and Naruto appeared in front of Lee, who was busy training. What is he doing? Ino asked, noticing the blue particles surrounding Lee. Don't mind him, Naruto replied. Ino asked what he wanted to talk about, and Naruto offered her power. She was skeptical, considering he was once the underdog. He used his Ryatsu on her. I can't breathe, Ino thought. Naruto stopped releasing his Ryatsu. Ino, do you want to become stronger? Know that in exchange for my power, you will become my servant, Naruto stated. When did he become so strong? If I accept his power, I will leave forehead in the dust, Ino thought. Yes, Naruto-sama, Ino agreed. Naruto offered Ino his blood, and she drank it. He bestowed upon her the letter L, the love. Like Lee, she felt power welling up inside her and gained knowledge of how to use her ability. So I can make people fall in love with me, Ino thought. Lee will fill you in on all the details about Quincy's. You will train with him for now, Naruto instructed, giving her a cross before disappearing. The next day, the second phase of the exams was over. The teams that made it included Team 7, 8, and 10, Guy's team, the Sound team, the Sand team, and Kabuto's team. The teams assembled in an arena with the Hokage standing in front of the Genin, their Jounin behind him. Kakashi was surprised when he saw Naruto's appearance but decided to ask after the preliminaries. The Hokage explained that the Chunin exams served the purpose of testing ninja, moderating the levels of the ninja in each nation, and developing friendships. Just tell me the details of the exam, I can handle anything you can throw at me, Gaara said after the Hokage finished speaking and answering other questions. Very well, I will now tell you exactly what the details of the third exam are, the Hokage responded. Just then, Hate appeared, bowing in front of the Hokage and asking if he could speak first, to which the Hokage obliged. Hate explained that they needed to hold a preliminary round due to the large number of participants, which was met with cries of outrage. He justified it by mentioning the important nobles and feudal lords who would be attending, emphasizing that they only wanted the best of the best shinobi. The preliminaries will begin immediately. If any of you aren't in top physical condition, now is the time to quit, Hate announced. Kabuto gave up, but no one else did. Sakura wanted Sasuke to quit, but he told her that the only reason he fought was to test himself and that all the best were present. So what am I supposed to do, just watch you suffer? I can't bear to watch, Sakura cried. Then don't watch. But stay out of it, it has nothing to do with you. I am an Avenger, and whether I become a Chunin or not means less than nothing to me, Sasuke replied. My goal is to test myself against the best, and the best of the best are all here, Sasuke replied. Sasuke, she just cares about you. You don't have to be so mean, Naruto said. Naruto, you are one of the ones I want to fight the most, Sasuke said with a smirk. You will lose, Naruto responded. We will see, Sasuke replied. Now, the preliminaries will follow a sudden death elimination of one-on-one matches, with only the winner moving on to the third exam. As for the rules, there are none. You will fight until one concedes defeat or is rendered physically incapable of continuing. Naturally, those who are losing are encouraged to quit to avoid a fatal outcome. As proctor, I will intervene if the situation seems hopeless to save as many lives as possible. Now we will see what fate is in store for you, Hate announced. Enko spoke a command, and a panel on the back wall opened, revealing a screen. The panel you see will give the names of the two competitors who are chosen completely at random. I guess there is nothing more to say, so let's begin, Hate concluded. The screen began going through names and landed on Sasuke Uchiha versus Yoroi Akato. Could everyone whose name was not just shown please go to the upper level? Hate instructed. Kakashi walked by Sasuke and said, Don't use your Sharingan. If you let that cursed seal take over, I'll have to jump in and stop the match. Good luck. Stop the match. Sasuke thought, feeling fear at the possibility of not being able to fight. Good, Sasuke Uchiha, Yoroi Akato, are you ready? Hate asked. Yeah, Sasuke confirmed. Yes, Yoroi agreed. His appearance was greatly concealed by the mask around his mouth, sunglasses obscuring his eyes, and a forehead protector worn like a bandana. He also wore a high-collared, sleeveless, navy blue shirt with a short-sleeved white one underneath, A simple obi around his waist, pants, sandals, and fingerless gloves. In that case, let the first match of the preliminaries begin. Hate announced. Sasuke jumped back and pulled out a kunai while Yoroi surrounded his hand with chakra. Yoroi flung 3 shuriken at Sasuke, who sent them back with his kunai. Damn it, this thing is responding to my chakra, Sasuke thought as he raised his hand to his curse seal. You're mine, Yoroi shouted as he charged at Sasuke. Sasuke swept his leg and locked Yoroi's arm between his legs. Got him, Sasuke smirked, thinking he had captured him, but then Yoroi turned his hand around and grabbed Sasuke's collar. I feel so weak, Sasuke thought. Yoroi then brought his arm down, intending to hit Sasuke's solar plexus, but Sasuke released his hold and slid away. Got you, Yoroi said as he leapt up, grabbing Sasuke by his head and pushing him to the ground. My chakra, what are you doing? Gasped Sasuke. Haha, you're just noticing it now, are you? Laughed Yoroi. So weak, what am I going to do? Sasuke thought, reflecting on how weak he felt compared to others like Orochimaru, Haku, Zabuza, and Itachi. Why am I so weak? Sasuke pondered. Sasuke, are you going to get beaten by this weakling? If you can't even beat this weakling, then how are you going to kill your brother? Naruto's voice echoed in his mind. Hearing Naruto say this ignited a fire inside Sasuke. I won't lose here, he declared. Sasuke coiled up his legs and extended them quickly, pushing Yoroi off him. As he got up, he saw Lee. That's it, he thought before charging at Yoroi. Sasuke flipped onto his hand and delivered a powerful super kick that sent Yoroi into the air. He then used the dancing leaf shadow technique and appeared behind Yoroi in midair. Okay, I'll admit I borrowed that move, but from here, it's all original, Sasuke said. Sasuke swung his leg to kick Yoroi in the ribs. Yoroi blocked it, but it was a distraction as Sasuke used the momentum to swing his arm up and strike Yoroi in the neck, sending him flying down. Come back, I'm not done yet. Sasuke shouted as he kicked him down and finally delivered an axe kick, smashing him onto the floor while saying, Lion's Barrage. Heiei looked at the two competitors. Yoroi was unconscious, and Sasuke was still conscious but tired. Winner, Sasuke Uchiha, Heiei announced. Kakashi appeared behind Sasuke and said, Let's go. We need to get that mark sealed up. Can't we go after the matches? Sasuke asked. No, sorry, Kakashi replied, giving his ice smile before body flickering with Sasuke. After they left, the board displayed 2 more names. Next match, Shino Aburame vs Zaku Abumi. Will the contestants please come down? Heiei called. Sasuke and Kakashi were in a dimly lit room, with candles as the only light source. Sasuke was shirtless and sat in the middle of a large seal array. Okay, Sasuke, this seal I'm about to put on you will seal the curse mark. However, it is only as strong as your will, so you have to make sure it doesn't break, Kakashi explained. Kakashi made numerous hand signs before saying, Curse sealing. Sasuke cried out in pain as the kanji crawled across the floor and his body, entering the curse mark and forming a ring around it, at which point he passed out. If you fight me, you won't be able to recover. Forfeit, Shino said in his stoic monotone voice. Hey, what do you know? Looks like I have a bit of movement in one, Zaku said as his left arm started twitching before he pulled it out of the sling and aimed it at Shino. One good arm is all I need to beat you, Zaku shouted as he charged at Shino. Zaku attempted a straight punch at Shino's face, but Shino raised his arm and blocked it. I told you you can't beat me, Shino said. Oh yeah? Slicing sound wave. Zaku shouted as air rushed out of the hole in his palm, blasting Shino away. Orochimaru appeared from behind a pillar. My, you've grown, Kakashi. To think you can perform the curse sealing, he said. What are you doing here? Kakashi demanded, taking a defensive stance. Long time no see, Kakashi, but I didn't come here for you. I have some business with that boy behind you, Orochimaru replied. What do you want with Sasuke? Kakashi asked, narrowing his single eye. It seems as though you have gained something since the last time we met, the Sharingan in your left eye. How I envy your good fortune, Orochimaru said, pausing before continuing. It is only fair that I should want it too. Don't you think? The power of the Uchiha, Orochimaru concluded. Shino calmly stood up and stared down Zaku. He informed Zaku that he couldn't beat him and told him to look behind. Zaku turned around, his eyes widening at the sight of heaps of bugs. Shino continued, explaining that Zaku was now trapped. With only one usable arm, Zaku could either attack Shino and be overwhelmed by the bugs or attack the bugs and leave himself open to Shino. Shino emphasized the importance of having an ace in the hole as he began to gather his chakra while forming the ram sign. Orochimaru then spoke about the Sound Village, claiming it as his own. He explained that to play the game, one needed pieces on the chessboard willing pawns. Kakashi inquired if Sasuke was one of those pawns, to which Orochimaru replied that Sasuke was a much more valuable piece than a pawn. Zaku's other arm began to twitch, and he pulled it out of his sling. He exclaimed that he had movement in his other arm as well, referencing Shino's earlier words about having an ace in the hole. Zaku fully extended his arm, pointing one at Shino and the other at the bugs, and shouted, "Slicing sound wave." However, nothing came from his wind holes, and his arms were blasted off at the elbow. In pain, Zaku cried out, "What is this?" Shino appeared behind Zaku and explained that he had plugged up both of Zaku's arms just in case he was faking. He remarked that it was wise to do so, adding that while one ace in the hole is good, two are better. Shino then punched Zaku in the back, sending him sprawling on the ground, nearly unconscious. Heiei checked Zaku before announcing, "Winner, Shino Aburame." Orochimaru stepped forward towards Sasuke, prompting Kakashi to charge up a lightning blade in response. Kakashi warned Orochimaru to take one more step and one of them would die there, regardless of Orochimaru's status as one of the legendary Sen. Orochimaru laughed and looked Kakashi straight in the eye, acknowledging Kakashi's bravery but calling it foolish. He stated he would leave for now, but warned that Sasuke, being an Avenger, would one day come looking for him in search of power. As he walked away, he added that unless Kakashi followed through with his threat to kill him, he would be back. Orochimaru released a bit of bloodlust, leaving Kakashi terrified but determined to maintain his lightning blade, hiding his fear. Orochimaru continued to laugh as he disappeared from sight. Kakashi thought to himself that he must have been out of his mind to make such a threat. Using a body flicker, Kakashi appeared behind Naruto and Sakura. Sakura greeted him, asking about Sasuke, to which Kakashi replied that he was fine. In the match between Ino and Kiba, Kiba declared that he would end the fight with one hit, to which Ino responded with a sarcastic remark about his kindness. Heiei signaled for the match to begin. Kiba charged at Ino, who formed her hands into a heart and shot a blue heart at him. Kiba dodged the heart effortlessly, mocking Ino. However, the heart returned and struck Kiba in the back, causing him to fall under Ino's spell. Ino commanded him to sit down, and he obeyed. When she told him to roll over, he complied, leaving Kurenai bewildered by Kiba's behavior. Akamaru barked at Kiba to snap out of it. Naruto smirked, and Shikamaru noticed. He thought about how Ino had never been able to do this before and wondered if Naruto had helped her develop the heart technique. Ino urged Kiba to give up the match, and he ultimately forfeited. Ino released him from the effects of her technique, and Heiei announced her as the winner. Kiba protested, claiming he hadn't forfeited, but Heiei confirmed his loss. Ino walked away, and Akamaru explained to Kiba what had happened. Kiba realized he had underestimated Ino. Later, when Ino reached the stands, Asuma asked her about the heart technique, but she kept it a secret. Shikamaru, curious, wondered what Ino was hiding. In the match between Shikamaru and Kin, Heiei called them down to begin. Shikamaru attempted the shadow imitation technique, but Kin easily evaded and threw Sunban with bells attached. Shikamaru recognized the trick and mocked her for using basic techniques. Kin rang the bells, activating her genjutsu, and Shikamaru found himself unable to move. As Kin attacked him with more Sunban, she suddenly realized she couldn't move either. Shikamaru explained that he had extended his shadow imitation technique through the shadow of the wires she was holding. He then threw a shuriken at Kin, who imitated his movement. When Shikamaru ducked to evade it, Kin was forced to imitate him, but she hit her head against the wall and knocked herself out. Next, Heiei called for the match between Misumi and Gaara. Kankuro remarked that Misumi was as good as dead. When the match began, Misumi attempted to coil around Gaara, but Gaara's sand captured him and crushed him. Kankuro confirmed that he had been right, and Asuma noted that Gaara was ruthless. Kakashi thought about how dangerous Gaara was and hoped Sasuke wouldn't face him in the finals. The medics took Misumi away, and the next match was between Temari and Tenten. Tenten made the first move, but Temari easily dodged it. Team Guy was surprised that none of Tenten's weapons could touch Temari. Tenten tried again with her twin rising dragons technique, revealing the second star on her fan. Temari repelled the attack and warned Tenten that if she saw all 3 stars, the fight would be over. Tenten used strings to reuse her weapons, uncovering the 3rd star. Temari repelled the attack and trapped Tenten in a cyclone. When Tenten fell from the cyclone, Temari made her land on her fan, knocking her out. After being declared the winner, Temari attempted to throw Tenten onto the many weapons scattered on the floor, but Rock Lee descended and caught her. He confronted Temari, expressing his anger. Temari felt a familiar yet weaker pressure from Lee's presence, reminiscent of her experience in the Forest of Death. Despite Lee's Ryatsu being less intense than Naruto's, it still affected her. Just as Lee was about to attack, Naruto intervened, urging him to stop. Lee glanced at Naruto and calmed down. Medics arrived to assist Tenten, and Lee shot one last glare at Temari before returning to the stands. Hayate announced the next match, which was Sakura Haruno vs Hinata Hyuga. Kakashi wished Sakura good luck, to which she responded with gratitude. As they walked down, Kurenai remarked that Sakura stood no chance against Hinata, and Kakashi silently agreed, thinking about Sakura's lack of training. Hinata was determined to prove herself better than Sakura in front of Naruto, while Sakura felt the weight of the challenge ahead. As the match began, Hinata activated her Byakugan and charged at Sakura, quickly overwhelming her in a taijutsu battle. Hinata skillfully sealed most of Sakura's chakra points and taunted her to give up, criticizing her for wasting time chasing after Sasuke instead of training. Sakura realized she needed to change and catch up to Naruto and Sasuke, contemplating asking Kakashi for training after the match. Ultimately, Sakura chose to forfeit, and Hinata was declared the winner. Hinata looked to the stands, expecting to see Naruto, but he was nowhere to be found. A few minutes later, the next match was announced, Naruto vs Dosu. Kiba expressed concern about Naruto's absence, but Naruto revealed he had been there all along. Hinata blushed at Naruto's appearance, while Hayate called for both competitors to come down. Dosu arrogantly thought the fight would be easy. Kakashi encouraged Naruto to show his growth as the match began. Dosu charged at Naruto, throwing a punch, but Naruto easily dodged, feeling a sudden pain in his ear. Dosu attacked again, and this time, Naruto was caught off guard by a soundwave attack, causing him to bleed from his ear. Hinata, along with Kakashi and Sakura, watched in worry. Dosu taunted Naruto, claiming he could dodge physical attacks but not sound. However, as Dosu prepared to unleash another attack, he suddenly found himself in pain, realizing his own eardrum had ruptured. Naruto, having used his ability called the Balancer, explained that he had transferred Dosu's misfortune back to him. The technique reflected the damage inflicted upon him back at Dosu. As Dosu struggled, Naruto swiftly ended the fight by shooting an arrow through Dosu's head, leaving everyone shocked. Kakashi was particularly concerned about Naruto's drastic change. As Naruto made his way to the stands, Shikamaru confronted him, questioning the transformation he had undergone. Naruto admitted that he was no longer the naive boy he once was and hinted at revealing the reasons behind his change and offering Shikamaru a power after the preliminaries. The board displayed the next match, Lee vs Neji. Lee declared that today would be the day he finally beat Neji, while Neji confidently dismissed him. As they descended into the arena, Guy expressed excitement for the match, and Naruto believed Lee would win, hinting that he had also given Lee a power. As the match began, Neji activated his Byakugan and launched a series of rapid attacks at Lee, who managed to block them all. Lee then jumped back, hardening his fists with a technique. Neji was surprised by Lee's sudden strength as Lee landed a powerful punch that sent him flying. Neji recovered midair, realizing that Lee's punches had never felt this strong before. Determined, Neji prepared to use his 8 trigrams technique, though he had yet to perfect it. He regained his composure and charged at Lee, ready to prove his strength. You can't escape my 8 trigrams. Gentle fist art, 8 trigrams, 32 palms, Neji declared. Suddenly, Neji launched his attack. 2 palms. He felt as if he had struck something hard. 4 palms. Neji continued, sensing the same resistance. 8 palms. 16 palms. 32 palms. After completing his technique, he wondered, how is his skin so tough? It was then that he noticed Lee's hardened skin through his Byakugan. It's a pity, I thought I would be able to enjoy this battle, Lee remarked, pulling out crossbow. He formed a bow, created an arrow and shot it. Neji barely dodged the arrow, but Lee quickly created another arrow and appeared behind him. Sorry, Neji, Lee said before firing again. The arrow pierced through Neji's back. How am I losing? Neji asked, staring at the arrow protruding from his body. Give up, Neji, Lee urged, readying another arrow. Neji turned to face Lee. Where did you get this power? He questioned. You will find out if His Majesty Naruto chooses you, Lee replied. Give up, Neji, or else, Lee warned. Or else what? Neji challenged. After Neji's retort, Lee fired the arrow, which narrowly missed Neji's head. Or you will die, Lee stated. That blue bow. It's the same as Naruto's but much larger. Did Naruto teach him that? Guy pondered. Is this really Lee? Neji thought. Hayate had seen enough. He knew that if the fight continued, Neji would most certainly be defeated. Winner, Rock Lee, Hayate announced. It's impossible. Fate decides everything, Neji muttered. Might controls everything, Neji. Without strength, you cannot protect anything, let alone yourself, Lee said as he walked toward the stands. As he passed Neji, he whispered, Gain enough strength to free yourself from your fate, Neji. The medics arrived to assist Neji. Meanwhile, Hayate announced a 10-minute break. When Lee reached the stands, Guy praised him. Good work, Lee. Thanks, Sensei, Lee replied. Did you learn that bow technique from Naruto? Guy asked. Yes, Sensei, Lee confirmed. Kakashi observed the scene, noting, first his appearance changes, and now he has a newfound power. He looked around and noticed that Naruto had vanished. Where is Naruto? He wondered. Shikamaru scanned the area and realized that Choji was also missing. So he is also giving Choji a power, Shikamaru thought. Meanwhile, Naruto had sneaked away with Choji while everyone was focused on Lee's battle. He had convinced Choji to serve him by offering the one thing he cared about most, aside from his family and friends, food. Using the visionary, he created delicious food for Choji. 10 minutes later, Choji returned to the stands. Where is Naruto? Shikamaru asked. He left, Choji replied, pulling out a bag of chips. Will Choji Akimichi and Kankuro come down? Hei called. They made their way down. Spare yourself the hurt, Fatso, and give up, Kankuro taunted. Shikamaru thought, did he just call Choji Fatso? He's going to regret that. Choji ignored him and continued munching on his chips. If you are ready, begin, Hayate instructed. Kankuro jumped back and unstrapped his puppet, creating chakra strings to connect to it. He looked at Choji, who was still eating. Kid, if you aren't going to take this seriously, give up, Kankuro warned. Don't feel like it, Choji replied, putting the chips away. He then activated his technique, G the Glutton, causing his mouth to expand instantly. What's going on? Kankuro said, shocked. He stood frozen as he saw Choji's mouth tower over him. Everyone else was also surprised. Just how powerful is Naruto if he can give away abilities like this? Shikamaru thought. Choji placed his mouth next to the frozen Kankuro's head and whispered, Call me Fatso again, and I will eat you. Eat me? Kankuro thought nervously. Choji's mouth returned to normal, and Kankuro, who didn't want to be eaten alive, forfeited. Just what was that? Temari asked. Gaara felt excited. First Ino, now Choji. Where did they learn those abilities? Asuma thought. This Chunin exams is certainly interesting, Hiruzen thought. The Leaf's new generation is quite interesting, a sound Jonin thought. After the final fight, all the genin who made it through to the finals were called to the arena. The Hokage informed them that the exam finals would happen in a month to give them time to prepare and allow important dignitaries to arrive. Now to decide who will face who in the finals, you will each draw a number, said the Hokage. After everyone except Naruto and Sasuke drew and announced their numbers, the matches were determined as follows. First match Temari vs. Lee, second match Shino vs. Sasuke, third match Gaara vs. Shikamaru, fourth match Ino vs. Naruto, and fifth match Hinata vs. Choji. You now know who you will be facing, so use this month to plan accordingly and also to rest and recover. Until then, let us adjourn until next month, finished the Hokage. Choji Ino, is there something that you are hiding from me? Asuma asked. Sorry, sensei, this is something we can't tell you, Ino replied. Naruto is definitely involved. When I see him, I'm going to get some answers out of him, Kakashi thought. Later, Kabuto prepared to kidnap Sasuke under Orochimaru's orders, but he was stopped by Kakashi and forced to retreat. That night, Baki and Kabuto looked on from the sidelines after witnessing the attack. They discussed their plans to attack Konoha. Hayate Gecko overheard their conversation. After hearing their plans, he attempted to leave to notify the third Hokage, but he was killed by Baki. Hayate's body was later found by a group of Umbu, with Yugao Yuzuki wondering aloud what had happened. The next day, Sakura sat in her bedroom, worried about Sasuke. Meanwhile, the third Hokage held a meeting with the Jonin regarding Hayate Gecko's body found near Kikyo Castle. They discussed Orochimaru's involvement, although the Hokage concluded that they did not have any information regarding the latter. He also expressed his trust in the shinobi that if Odogekure were to invade Konohagakure, they would assemble and fight. Later, Sakura went to a flower shop to buy flowers for Sasuke. After purchasing the flowers, she headed to the hospital. At the hospital, the nurse permitted Sakura only 5 minutes of visitation due to Sasuke's condition. On her way to Sasuke's room, she saw Kakashi coming out. Kakashi-sensei, is Sasuke fine? Sakura asked. Sasuke will be okay. He is sleeping right now, Kakashi replied. Kakashi-sensei, can you train me, please? That fight with Hinata made me realize how weak I am. I need to get stronger and fast, Sakura said. I am sorry, Sakura. I have plans to train Sasuke. He may be able to beat Shino, but for the rest of the competition, I can't say. He is going to need all the preparation if he wants to beat Lee, Gaara, Choji, and Naruto, Kakashi explained. Okay, that's all right, sensei, Sakura said, a bit saddened. Don't worry, after the exams, I can train you, Kakashi said before using the body flicker technique. Sakura approached Sasuke's. Before she could enter, a shadow-like portal appeared beneath her. She saw it too late and got SEKD in. This didn't just happen to Sakura, it also happened to the other Leaf rookies. When they emerged from the portal, they saw Naruto sitting on a throne. When Choji, Ino, and Lee saw this, they bowed. So that portal was your doing, Shikamaru said. May I ask why you summoned us? Shino inquired. It's to give each of you one of your powers, right? Shikamaru asked. That's correct, Shikamaru, Naruto confirmed. Powers? Sakura asked. Naruto-kun, Hinata thought. The heart that Ino shot at Kiba, the bow Lee used, and what happened with Choji's mouth, those were abilities that Naruto gave to them, Shikamaru realized. You gave her that? Kiba said, looking at Naruto. Yes. Like Shikamaru said, I summoned you all here to give each of you a power, Naruto explained. Then I want a cool ability, Kiba declared. Kiba, think for a second, he wouldn't just give us powers for free, Shino cautioned. It's clear what he wants in exchange, Shikamaru said as he looked at his two teammates and Lee, who was still bowing. In exchange for his power, he wants us to serve him, Shino concluded. Serve the dead last? No chance in hell, Kiba scoffed. If it means I can get closer to him, then I will accept, Hinata thought. Serve Naruto? Sakura thought skeptically. Can we refuse your offer? Shikamaru asked. That is if you want to die, Naruto said as he released his Ryatsu on them, overwhelming them. After a few seconds, he stopped. After catching her breath, Hinata answered him, "Naruto, I am willing to serve you." "What about the rest of you?" Naruto asked. "It would be illogical to refuse you," Shino said before bowing. "If I refuse, I will die," Sakura thought. "Sakura, isn't this what you wanted? To become strong enough to keep up with me and Sasuke? If you accept my power, you will easily surpass Sasuke, even Kakashi," Naruto urged. "Surpass both of them? Is that really possible? I will never know if I die today," Sakura thought. "Fine then, I will serve you," Sakura said as she bowed. "Kiba," Naruto called. "Fine, but I want a cool power," Kiba said before he bowed. Naruto looked at Shikamaru. "What does serving you entail?" "In your free time, you are to do as you please. Other than that, simply follow my orders," Naruto explained. "That doesn't sound too bad. So what power am I getting?" Shikamaru asked, bowing. "You will find out soon," Naruto replied. Naruto created cups and poured his blood into them, giving each of them a cup. "Drink," he instructed. They did as he said. Shikamaru received B, the balancer, Hinata E, the explode, Shino F, the fear, Kiba R, the roar, and Sakura P, the power. "So I got the one he used on Dosu," Shikamaru thought. "Well then, my stern Ritters, your training will commence tomorrow," Naruto announced. "Stern Ritters? What does that mean?" Shino asked. "It means Star Knights. Shikamaru will be your leader. His authority is second to mine," Naruto explained. "Second in command? What a drag," Shikamaru thought. "You're free to go home now. I will summon you all for your training," Naruto said. "Well, goodbye for now," Naruto said, creating a shadow portal for all of them. They all went through. Lee expressed his excitement about training with His Majesty that month, while Shikamaru wished he shared that enthusiasm. Ino encouraged Shikamaru to lighten up, but he simply replied that it was a drag. Kiba chimed in, saying that the training would elevate them all to the next level. Meanwhile, Hinata thought about not letting Naruto down, and Sakura silently thanked Naruto for making her stronger. A few days later, Kakashi came to pick up Sasuke. Hayashi finally decided to tell Neji the truth, which Neji was skeptical about until he read his father's letter. Hayashi asked for Neji's forgiveness, but Neji assured him there was no need for that. Naruto began the Stern Ritter's training, working with each of them individually using clones. He felt that Shikamaru needed his personal guidance the most, as he lacked motivation compared to the others. Naruto decided to teach them various skills, including Blood, Herenkyaku, Racial Manipulation, Despion, Shatten, the ability to use shadows to teleport, swordsmanship, and Volstandic. Jiraiya returned to the village to inform Hiruzen of the Akatsuki's threat before heading to the hot springs. Meanwhile, the Jonin gathered at a bar to discuss the upcoming tournament. Anko expressed her belief that Naruto would win, while Guy confidently stated that Lee would dominate the competition. Asuma noted that Naruto's influence had changed many of the genin, mentioning how Choji and Ino had developed new abilities. Kurenai remarked that it seemed Naruto was teaching their students, as they didn't require their help for training. Anko eagerly anticipated how strong the students would become, and Asuma mused that they might even surpass their teachers. As the month flew by, the Stern Ritters matured significantly, with even the usually lazy Shikamaru showing more enthusiasm, though he still retained some of his laid-back nature around Naruto. At the Chunin exam stadium, Hiruzen thought it was finally time for the finale as the Kazekage arrived with his bodyguards. Hiruzen welcomed him and offered a seat, to which the Kazekage graciously accepted. In the stands, Kakashi wondered where his students were, while Asuma admitted he didn't know. Sasuke and Hayashi both thought about the whereabouts of Naruto and Hinata, respectively. Hanabi called out to her sister, and Neji inquired about their absence. After a few minutes, Lee appeared in the arena, looking older and wearing a new outfit that marked a significant improvement from his previous attire. Tenten noted the change, and Gunma wondered where the rest of the kids were. Hiruzen decided it was time to start the first match. As the tournament began, Gunma announced the first fight, Rock Lee vs. Temari. Temari rode down on her fan, and Lee declared that she would regret hurting Tenten. Tenten encouraged Lee to show Temari his strength, while Guy cheered for Lee to demonstrate the power of youth. As the match commenced, Temari unleashed a wind jutsu, but Lee dodged and quickly closed the distance, delivering a powerful kick that sent her flying. Temari managed to recover midair, but Lee continued his assault with a leaf hurricane, landing another hit. Temari realized that Lee's speed was no joke and that his attacks were painful. Ultimately, she decided to forfeit, and Genma declared Lee the winner. Kakashi thought highly of Lee's performance, while Guy praised him for his efforts. Lee reminded Temari to respect her opponents as the medics took her away. A shadow appeared beneath Lee, and Shino emerged from it, now taller and wearing an outfit similar to Lee's. Sasuke smirked at the sight of his opponent, but Kakashi felt uneasy. Neji worried about what Lee had gotten himself into, and the Kazekage speculated about the implications of their attire, wondering if they had betrayed the leaf. Genma called for Sasuke to come down, and Kakashi warned him to be careful. Sasuke assured Kakashi not to worry before heading into the arena. Kurenai offered Shino encouragement as the match began. Sasuke activated his Sharingan and charged at Shino, who unleashed multiple blue thorns. Sasuke dodged most but was still hit by a few. He smirked, finding the match more interesting than he had anticipated. Sasuke fired a fireball at Shino, who easily dodged it. Sasuke then attempted to strike Shino from behind, but Shino vanished from his sight. Sasuke searched frantically, only to hear Shino's voice above him. Looking up, he saw Shino readying more thorns. Shino fired them, but Sasuke quickly used the earth-style mud wall jutsu that Kakashi had taught him, blocking the attack. Shino then appeared on top of the wall. Sasuke felt a strange sensation, as if his body was freezing. He realized that the thorns were covered with something that affected him. Shino revealed that the feeling was akin to the fear he experienced during the massacre of his clan. Sasuke found himself trapped in a loop, reliving the traumatic moment over and over. Desperate, Sasuke screamed for Itachi to stop, but the despair overwhelmed him, leaving his eyes lifeless. Kakashi grew worried as he witnessed this. Shino decided it was time to finish the match, moving his hand towards Sasuke, urging him to face his fear. "It will make you stronger," Shino said before pulling out his hand. Sasuke fell to the ground, and Kakashi made his way to the arena. "What did you do to him?" Kakashi glared at Shino. The portal appeared beneath Shino. "I merely showed him his fear," Shino replied before going through the portal. Genma announced the winner, and Kurenai thought, "Shino, what has Naruto done to you?" The medics came to get Sasuke. Kakashi thought angrily, "Naruto." Chapter end. Shikamaru appeared out of the portal. Asuma observed him and thought, "It looks like you have also changed." Kakashi glared at Shikamaru. "Where is Naruto?" he demanded. "His Majesty is currently resting," Shikamaru replied. "His Majesty? Is the kid a king or something?" Anko questioned. "He made our students his servants," Kurenai added. "Take me to him. There's a lot I have to discuss with him," Kakashi insisted. "His Majesty's rest must not be disturbed," Shikamaru said firmly. "Genin, I order you to take me to him now," Kakashi commanded. "Fine then." Shikamaru created a portal, and Kakashi went through it. When Kakashi emerged from the portal, he saw the Stern Ritters. "Hey there, Kakashi," Sakura greeted. "Sakura, don't tell me Naruto has gotten to you too," Kakashi replied. "Unlike you, dear sensei, His Majesty actually trained me," Sakura said. "Where is he?" Kakashi asked. "His Majesty is currently asleep," Sakura informed him. "Go wake him up," Kakashi ordered. Sakura appeared in front of Kakashi and delivered a powerful punch, causing him to collapse in pain. Kakashi passed out due to the injury, and Sakura threw him through the portal. "Kakashi," Hiruzen thought worriedly as he saw the unconscious Kakashi. "This organization must be strong if they could defeat Kakashi so easily," Kazekage remarked. Hiruzen wanted to go down and seek answers from Shikamaru, but he stayed put as the medics came to get Kakashi. How strong have the students become if they could beat Kakashi that easily? Guy wondered. Asuma looked at Shikamaru with a serious expression. "Shouldn't we start the fight?" Shikamaru asked. Gaara had a creepy smile on his face as he made his way down. I can't wait to defeat you, Gaara declared. Shikamaru simply smiled at him. If you are ready, begin, Genma announced. Shikamaru jumped away from Gaara as Gaara sent his sand after him. Before it could reach Shikamaru, it veered off course. Shikamaru used the wind technique. Gaara created sand shurikens and fired them all at Shikamaru. The attacks went sideways before hitting him. Gaara kept trying to attack Shikamaru, but it was ineffective. Shikamaru pulled his sword from its sheath and used Terenkyaku to appear in front of Gaara. He attempted to slash him, but Gaara's sand blocked the attack. Shikamaru disappeared and reappeared behind Gaara, trying to slash him again, but Gaara's sand thwarted him once more. Shikamaru continued his assault, but all his attacks were blocked by the sand. After a few more attempts, Shikamaru jumped away from Gaara. Outside of the arena, Kabuto disguised himself by taking down an Umbu member. Your attacks will never hit me, Gaara said arrogantly. Shikamaru smiled before using the heat technique. Gaara's sand shielded him from the attack. Next, Shikamaru used Thunderbolt. Gaara's sand protected him from the lightning but turned into fulgurites. Gaara used the remaining sand in his gourd to attack Shikamaru, but to his surprise, Shikamaru got captured by his sand. I finally caught you, Gaara said triumphantly. You were fortunate to block all my attacks. However, all that good fortune will be removed with the same amount of misfortune. Can you see it? The scale is tipping, Shikamaru replied. Gaara noticed the scale. After that, he suffered multiple cuts, his skin burned, and he was electrocuted. The pain was too much for him, and he collapsed. Shukaku took the opportunity to forcefully take over Gaara's body. I am free! Shukaku screamed. The villagers were frightened as they saw the tailed beast, and the Jonin prepared to fight. We have to evacuate the villagers, Hiruzen ordered. It's time, Kazekage thought. A smoke bomb went off in the Kage's box. Kabuto used a genjutsu to put almost everyone in the crowd to sleep. The Konoha ninja present managed to fend off the genjutsu, and the Konoha crush commenced. On schedule as His Majesty predicted, Shikamaru noted. Chapter End. Many people in the stadium fell asleep, except for the ninja. Outside the stadium, many snakes were summoned by sound and sand shinobi. The Jounin and Chunin at the gate reacted quickly to defend their village. Back in the stadium, the Kazekage took the Hokage to the roof, grabbing him and holding a kunai to his neck. As they landed on the roof, 4 sound ninja appeared, each standing in a corner of the roof, creating a barrier around them. The barrier was made of purple flames, which would instantly engulf anyone who came into contact with it, preventing anyone from entering or leaving the area. An Umbu member tried to breach the barrier and was burned to a crisp. The Sand Village is betraying the Leaf Village, the Hokage realized. The treaty between our villages was simply a trick to make you let down your guard, the Kazekage replied. Do you want to start a war? The Hokage asked. Exactly, the Kazekage said. Armed conflict resolves nothing. We should seek a resolution through negotiation. There is still time, Kazekage, the Hokage urged, trying to avoid war. Perhaps the fear of death makes one more cowardly with age, Sarutobi-sensei, the Kazekage said, his voice changing at the last part. You, Sarutobi mumbled as he recognized the voice, his eyes widening. With Shikamaru, Asuma quickly jumped to his student's side. Do you have a plan to defeat it? Asuma asked. Beating the One-Tail is an easy matter, Shikamaru replied confidently. What did you say, brat? Shukaku growled. I said it is easy to beat you, Shikamaru reiterated. He sounds more confident now. Perhaps training with Naruto was not all that bad, Asuma thought. You brat, Shukaku said as he prepared a tailed beast bomb. This is bad. If we get hit by that, we are as good as dead, Asuma thought. Shukaku fired the tailed beast bomb, but Shikamaru simply used the visionary technique to make it disappear. It vanished. Asuma exclaimed. Like I said, Shukaku, you can't beat me, Shikamaru declared. I am going to kill you, Shukaku threatened as he hit his stomach and spat out a compressed air bullet. Shikamaru made it vanish again. Impossible. Does he have the ability to negate jutsu? Asuma wondered. In the village, the Stern Ritters were destroying the invading forces. Back with Shikamaru, he instructed, "Asuma, go help the others. I am going to finish things here." "Are you sure?" Asuma asked. "You will just get in my way," Shikamaru insisted. Asuma complied with Shikamaru's request. Shikamaru levitated above Shukaku and used the visionary technique to fill the arena with water. Shukaku got wet. Its body started to turn into mud. Shukaku expressed his fury, calling Shikamaru a brat. Shikamaru declared it was over before unleashing the thunderbolt. The power of the thunderbolt was greatly amplified by the water, and Shukaku couldn't withstand the millions of volts of electricity. Its mud body dissolved. After Shukaku disappeared, Gaara fell into the water and began to drown. Shikamaru made the water vanish. Meanwhile, Sarutobi and Orochimaru were observing the situation. Orochimaru thought to himself that Gaara had proven useless, while Hiruzen wondered how Shikamaru had managed to defeat Shukaku. Suddenly, Orochimaru cried out, prompting Sarutobi to ask if he was that happy or if something else was troubling him. In response, Orochimaru stabbed his kunai into his own hand. Sarutobi smirked, questioning how Orochimaru could feel any sadness after attempting to kill his own master. Orochimaru claimed he finally felt better, but then added that he was just tired and had yawned, which caused a tear to leak out. He walked away from Sarutobi, who smirked in response. Orochimaru then suggested they start, and the third Hokage removed his Hokage outfit, revealing his fighting gear underneath. Orochimaru commented on the third's preparedness for battle, and they stared each other down. As one of the tiles on the roof cracked, they commenced their fight. The third began by sending hundreds of shuriken at Orochimaru, who blocked the attack by summoning 3 coffins for protection. Recognizing the coffins, the third deduced Orochimaru's intentions and attempted to stop the summoning, but he failed. Fortunately, one of the coffins exploded, thanks to Naruto. Curious about the failure, Orochimaru pondered the reason behind it. The coffins opened, revealing the reanimated corpses of the first and second Hokage. Tobirama remarked on Hiruzen's terrible appearance, while Hashirama laughed about the effects of old age. Hiruzen greeted his former teachers, wishing it were under better circumstances. However, Orochimaru cut the reunion short, preparing the 2 Hokages for battle by removing the effects of death on their bodies and erasing their personalities. He jumped away, ready for the impending conflict. Angered by Orochimaru's actions, the third was about to attack when an intense pressure enveloped all the ninja. Both the Leaf and enemy forces were knocked out by the overwhelming force, leaving only Shikamaru, Hiruzen, and Orochimaru standing. The barrier around them dissipated. Orochimaru thought to himself that this feeling was reminiscent of that day in the Forest of Death. Hiruzen, observing the state of his ninja, questioned what had happened. Realizing the source of the pressure, he looked at Shikamaru, who insisted it wasn't him and urged Hiruzen to look above. Orochimaru and Hiruzen gazed at the sky to see Naruto standing there. Hiruzen wondered when Naruto had arrived, while Orochimaru acknowledged him. Shikamaru welcomed Naruto with a slight bow, and Naruto commended Shikamaru for his efforts, stating that his work was done. Shikamaru thanked him before disappearing. Naruto then fixed his gaze on both Orochimaru and Hiruzen with a sinister expression. Hiruzen asked Naruto what was happening, to which Naruto replied that it was time for both him and Orochimaru to die. Hiruzen questioned why Naruto wanted to kill him, while Orochimaru suggested they team up to destroy the village. Naruto silenced Orochimaru, expressing his anger at the disturbance of his father's rest. Orochimaru realized that Naruto had been the one to destroy the third coffin. "You exploded the coffin," Orochimaru concluded. Hiruzen was taken aback, realizing Naruto knew about Minato. Naruto explained that he had placed a trap beneath where the coffin would appear a month ago. Orochimaru found it impossible that Naruto could have foreseen his summoning of the coffins on the roof. Naruto revealed that he had the ability to perceive and potentially alter the future. Both Orochimaru and Hiruzen were shocked to learn of Naruto's foresight. Naruto explained that he wanted to kill Hiruzen because his mother had wanted to do so, and since she was dead, he would take it upon himself. Hiruzen was bewildered, questioning how Naruto could know about his parents, who had died during the Nine-Tails attack. Naruto clarified that his father had placed their chakra within him so they could meet one day. Orochimaru remarked on the fourth Hokage's genius, lamenting his early death. Hiruzen asked why Kushina would want him dead, but Naruto dismissed the question, stating it didn't matter because Hiruzen was going to die that day anyway. Orochimaru reflected on his past actions, realizing he had caused Hiruzen's death at the cost of his own arms. Naruto explained that Hiruzen had intended to seal Orochimaru's arms into the Shinigami's stomach, leaving Orochimaru to contemplate the implications of that. Naruto then changed his mind, deciding to let a stern Ritter kill Hiruzen to prove his loyalty. Hiruzen saw a portal open beneath him and stepped through. Upon exiting the portal, he found Konohamaru sparring with Sakura, who had finished dealing with the invading forces. Konohamaru had joined a little later than the rest, being the weakest member of the group. Hiruzen was shocked to see Konohamaru had also joined Naruto's side. Konohamaru, surprised to see his grandfather, questioned his presence. Shikamaru informed Konohamaru that this was his test, to prove his loyalty to Naruto by killing Hiruzen. Konohamaru, initially thinking it was a joke, soon realized Shikamaru was serious. With tears in his eyes, he pointed his rapier blade at Hiruzen, apologizing and stating he was really going to kill him this time. Hiruzen reflected on the times Konohamaru had tried to kill him, wondering what had gone wrong for Naruto to end up this way. Now it was just Naruto and Orochimaru. Orochimaru commanded the two Kage to attack. Tobirama and Hashirama unleashed a water and wood dragon at Naruto. The water dragon struck first, followed by the wooden dragon wrapping tightly around him, suppressing his chakra. Orochimaru ordered Hashirama to finish Naruto off, and the wooden dragon bit off Naruto's head. Meanwhile, all the stern Ritters were watching the fight unfold in the training ground at the palace. Hinata, growing bored, decided to visit her dear Naruto. Hiruzen, while blocking Konohamaru's attacks, remarked on his strength, concluding that he was as strong as a high-level Chunin. He noted that Konohamaru's special ability must compensate for his lack of power and experience. Konohamaru continued to slash at Hiruzen with his rapier blade, while Hiruzen defended himself with his adamantine staff, Enma. "Stop taking it easy on the brat," Enma urged. Hiruzen jumped away from Konohamaru and made Enma extend, striking Konohamaru with considerable force. Hiruzen placed Enma beside him and began forming hand signs. Once he completed the sequence, he unleashed a large wave of flames towards Konohamaru. To Hiruzen's surprise, Konohamaru did not attempt to dodge or counter the attack. Instead, he faced it head-on. "Why, Konohamaru?" Hiruzen questioned, bewildered. What happened next astonished Hiruzen. Konohamaru's burned skin began to heal, and not only that, but his body also grew larger and more muscular. Is this his special ability? Hiruzen pondered. Konohamaru then charged at him, and Hiruzen quickly realized that Konohamaru's strikes were now faster and stronger than before. "Come on, Grandpa. Don't hold back on me. Give this fight all you've got. Since you're going to lose anyway," Konohamaru said, a hint of sadness in his voice. "You heard him," Enma remarked. "Then don't blame me for what happens next," Hiruzen replied as he created two clones. Hiruzen and his clones extended Enma at incredible speeds, striking Konohamaru with great force multiple times. Konohamaru struggled to react quickly enough and sustained significant injuries. Hiruzen paused his assault. Konohamaru rose to his feet, his injuries healing almost immediately, and his size increased once again. "What's going on?" Hiruzen thought. "Come on, Grandpa, don't tell me that's all you've got," Konohamaru taunted. Hiruzen and his clones formed hand signs and unleashed 3 different jutsus, 1 fire, 1 earth, and 1 lightning technique. Once again, Konohamaru faced each attack head-on. The damage healed and he grew even larger. "By the look on your face, I can tell you're wondering what is happening," Konohamaru said. Hiruzen simply nodded. "This is the power my big brother gave me." "The miracle," Konohamaru explained. "The miracle?" Hiruzen echoed. "The miracle grants me immense power in the face of adversity. Not only that, but it can heal all the damage I take and convert it into strength. My size increases every time you hurt me," Konohamaru continued. "The more I hurt you, the more powerful you become," Hiruzen said, shocked. Now towering like a giant, Konohamaru summoned a massive rapier blade. Grandpa, do you have any last words? Konohamaru asked. Hiruzen glanced at Shikamaru. Does Naruto intend to destroy the village? Hiruzen inquired. I don't know. His Majesty hasn't revealed much of his plans to us, Shikamaru replied. That doesn't reassure me, but that's enough, Hiruzen thought. It was an honor to fight alongside you, Enma, Hiruzen said. Goodbye, old friend, Enma responded. Hiruzen cancelled the summon, and Enma vanished. Time's up, Konohamaru said, preparing to swing his blade. Hiruzen smiled at Konohamaru. I am sorry, Konohamaru. I wish I could have done things differently. We may not have spent much time together, but know this, I love you, my grandson, Hiruzen expressed. Tears began to flow from Konohamaru's eyes. Grandpa, I am sorry, Konohamaru said before striking him with the rapier blade. After the act, Konohamaru wept uncontrollably. The rest of the stern Ritters surrounded him, offering consolation. They all hoped they would never have to face the same fate of harming a loved one. Meanwhile, Hinata appeared after Naruto's demise. Upon seeing Naruto's lifeless body, she turned her gaze towards Orochimaru and his reanimations, her expression darkening. How dare you? Hinata confronted. Oh, if it isn't the Hyuga girl. So, you've also become one of Naruto-kun's servants, Orochimaru remarked. Hinata unleashed her Ryatsu towards Orochimaru. Well, she's certainly intimidating, Orochimaru thought, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. I hope you are ready to die, Hinata said with a wild smile, her body suddenly enveloped in a red aura. Orochimaru sensed her Ryatsu growing stronger. He wondered how powerful Naruto must be if his servants were this formidable. As the red aura faded, Orochimaru saw that Hinata had activated her Volstandig. Hashirama quickly made hand signs, and Hinata unleashed her explosive rapier, which detonated upon contact with the trees, obliterating them. Orochimaru thought to himself that this must be her special ability. In response, Orochimaru performed hand signs and summoned the gates of Rashomon, which crashed down on Hinata, pinning her to the roof. He smirked at the sight. Hashirama then followed up with the gracious deity gates, which destroyed the gates of Rashomon and advanced toward Hinata. Tobirama unleashed a powerful lightning jutsu, believing it would finish her off. However, Orochimaru was taken aback as he witnessed Hinata's red aura shatter the gracious deity gates. How is she still alive? Orochimaru thought, and as the dust settled, he noticed blue markings appearing on Hinata's face. What are those markings? He wondered. It's called blood, Hinata replied. Blood? Orochimaru echoed. There are two variations of blood. One for offense, blood artery, and one for defense, blood vein. Blood vein grants me inhuman durability, Hinata explained. Orochimaru chuckled to himself, acknowledging the interesting army Naruto had. He was shocked to see Naruto's head had regenerated, and Hinata smiled at this. In an instant, Orochimaru and the two former Kage were incapacitated. Hinata deactivated her Volstandig and used Hirenkyaku to appear in front of Naruto. Naruto-sama, Hinata said, hugging him tightly. Naruto assured her he would finish Orochimaru off. She nodded and then vanished from the roof. How are you alive? Orochimaru asked, but Naruto did not respond. Instead, he created an arrow and hurled it at Orochimaru. Just before it could strike, Orochimaru leaped out through his mouth, revealing his true form. What a grotesque creature you are, Naruto remarked, glaring at Orochimaru. You will be mine, Orochimaru declared. You truly are a disgusting creature, Naruto replied. You are going to be devoured by this disgusting creature, Orochimaru threatened. As Orochimaru's transference ritual neared completion, Naruto smirked. The one who's going to be devoured is you, Orochimaru. What is he talking about? Orochimaru thought, just before their positions were reversed. Impossible! Orochimaru exclaimed as he was absorbed by Naruto. Naruto then absorbed the two Kage and created fake corpses of Hiruzen and Orochimaru, tossing them into the fighting arena. He and Hinata returned to the palace, where the stern Ritters bowed to them. Do you hate me, Konohamaru? Naruto asked. A part of me wants to, but I know you wouldn't let me kill my grandfather for no reason, Konohamaru replied. Naruto walked past Kanomu, saying, "You are welcome to try to kill me anytime." Nichan, Konohamaru thought. 1 hour later, everyone in the stadium woke up. The leaf shinobi protected the villagers from the sand and sound shinobi, who continued fighting until Kabuto spotted Orochimaru's corpse. "Everyone retreat. The Kazekage and Lord Orochimaru are dead," Kabuto announced before vanishing. Hearing this, the sand and sound ninja retreated. The leaf shinobi approached Hiruzen's body, heads bowed in sorrow. "Stand proud. Lord Hokage gave his life to protect the village. It's up to us to ensure his sacrifice wasn't in vain," Guy encouraged, lifting their spirits. "Looks like you will finally get some rest, Pops," Asuma said, lighting a cigarette. A few days later, in the pouring rain, Kakashi stood in front of Obito's memorial stone. Without turning around, he asked, "Are those for Hayate?" Yugao approached him. "You better make it quick. The Hokage's funeral has already begun." "And you, Kakashi?" "Paying respects to Obito instead of constantly inventing new excuses for being late." "Why not come here earlier?" she chided, bending down to place the flowers she had brought at the memorial stone. "I did. I've been here since dawn. This place reminds me of the mistakes I made in the past, and I have made so many of them," Kakashi replied. Jiraiya observed them from behind a nearby memorial stone. After Yugao paid her respects to Hayate, she headed to the funeral. Once she left, Jiraiya approached Kakashi. "We should get going. The funeral has already begun," Jiraiya urged. Before they left, Kakashi filled Jiraiya in on Naruto's situation. Unbeknownst to them, a masked individual was watching from a distance, using his Sharingan to read their lips. Capturing him may be harder than expected, Toby thought before disappearing. At the funeral, the elders and most of the Leaf Shinobi were in attendance. The parents of the Stern Ritters were astonished by how much their children had grown. Hayashi wanted to scold Hinata but decided to wait until after Hiruzen's funeral. Sasuke stared at Shino, feeling anger but choosing to set that feeling aside for another day. "May I have your attention? I want to say a few words," Danzo announced, capturing everyone's focus. Hiruzen Sarutobi was a great Hokage, but more than that, he was an excellent man. An old shinobi began, his face obscured by a half-mask of black porcelain. "He was a wonderful father, brother, and friend to us all. Some would say he was so because he believed in the will of fire of our founders, but Hiruzen was even greater than that. Hiruzen loved us all, and from this love his will of fire was born. He was never duty-bound to love us, rather, his love bound him to his duty. Time and again he led this village to victory because it meant the safety and prosperity of those he held dear. Tired and burdened, he led us all again when Yondaime fell, the fire of his love still burning strong despite his old age." Danzo smiled crookedly. "Hiruzen loved corny sayings," he chuckled. "As a longtime friend of his, I can testify to that, as can Hamura and Kohar behind me." The two old ninjas nodded with fleeting smiles. "So, as corny as it might sound, I believe the best thing we can do for Hiruzen today is to uphold what he lived for. He loved us, and that became his will of fire. Let us love each other and make it our will of fire." The assembled crowd nodded in agreement. "Konoha stands today as it did yesterday, thanks to the love we bear for those we hold dear. For this village to stand tomorrow, it must continue to be so. Like Hiruzen, we must fight for victory, for it means the safety and prosperity of the people we love. Like Hiruzen, let our love bind us to our duty. In this way we honor our brother, our friend, our father. In this way, honor our own lives. In this way, the will of fire is eternal and burns brightly." Most of the shinobi vowed to give their best to protect the village. "May the Pure Lands bring you rest," Asuma said with a chuckle. "I hope you find Mom and that she won't give you too much grief." "Rest in peace, Grandpa," Konohamaru added. After the service, Hayashi turned to Hinata and said, "We have much to discuss when we get home." "Sorry, Father, but I won't be returning home," Hinata replied. "What did you say?" Hayashi asked, surprised. Lady Hinata, Neji and Hanabi chimed in. "You heard what I said. Or are you deaf?" Hinata said with a condescending smile. Watch your tone, Hayashi warned. Or what? Are you going to dispone me in front of all these people? Hinata challenged. Kurenai felt surprised and pleased to see Hinata standing up to Hayashi. Akamaru, Kiba, and Shino smiled at this display. You impudent child, how dare you defy your clan head? Hinata's grandfather scolded. Shut up, you old geezer, Hinata retorted. Her grandfather lunged at her, attempting to strike with palm strikes, but each time he tried to hit Hinata, she simply slapped his hands aside. Don't tell me that's all you've got, old geezer, Hinata taunted. He activated his Byakugan and took a stance. Do they have no respect? This is neither the time nor place for a fight. Hamura interjected, and the other shinobi agreed. Why don't you two settle down? You can resolve this at home, Genma suggested. Hayashi was about to tell them to stop when both Hinata and her grandfather shouted, Shut up! Just as her grandfather was about to lunge at her again, Shikamaru appeared in front of him, sword pointed at the Hyuga elder's throat. That's enough, Shikamaru said firmly. The dark look in Shikamaru's eyes frightened the Hyuga elder. When did he move? Shukaku wondered. It was just getting to the good part, Hinata remarked. As much as I would like to see you defeat him, this isn't the time or place to fight. Did you forget it's the third Hokage's funeral? Shikamaru reminded her. Sorry, Kanomaru, Hinata said. Afterward, Hinata informed Hayashi that she was cutting ties with the Hyuga clan. Nechun, Hanabi thought sadly. Lady Hinata, Neji thought. Her grandfather warned her that if she wanted to leave the clan, she would have to accept the caged bird curse. Hayashi was disgusted by this but understood that his father valued the Byakugan and its secrets more than family. Shikamaru looked at Hinata, and after their exchange, she disappeared. Damn it, her grandfather muttered as he saw her vanish. We need to find her. We can't afford to let the Byakugan end up in the hands of our enemies, he thought. After Hinata's disappearance, Hayashi thought, good riddance. Our clan has no need for failures. Once the Hyuga family quarrel was over, the rest of the shinobi returned home. Before Shikamaru left, he and Neji had a conversation. Neji asked if he could join Naruto. After Hayashi had revealed the truth, Neji decided to take his duty to serve Hinata more seriously. Shikamaru promised to ask Naruto later. Later, Shukaku and Shikamaru were playing a game of shogi. They had just finished discussing Shikamaru's change. Shikamaru, is Naruto a threat to the village? Shukaku asked, moving a piece on the board. If His Majesty wanted to, he could easily destroy the village, Shikamaru replied, making his move. Since you serve Naruto now, does that mean you and the others are no longer Leaf Shinobi? Shukaku inquired. His Majesty did say we are free to do whatever we want in our free time, Shikamaru explained. Meaning you are free to do missions, Shukaku noted. Shikamaru nodded. And one more thing about your eyes. You never once opened them during our match. Oddly enough, you have been able to counter every move I made perfectly. It's as if you could see the future, Shukaku remarked. Nothing gets past you, Dad, Shikamaru said, revealing that he had activated his special ability. A dojutsu, Shukaku stated, surprised. You could say that, Shikamaru replied, deactivating the ability. What are its abilities besides seeing the future? Shukaku asked. Any power seen by the Almighty can be copied. Also, that power will not be able to harm the user of the Almighty in any way, Shikamaru explained. That's quite the ability, Shukaku said with a sigh. What a drag. Naruto and his army are probably above Kage level. At least they are on our side, he thought. After a while, they finished their game, with Shukaku as the winner. The other Stern Ritters also revealed to their parents that they were now servants of Naruto. Among all the parents, Choza, Choji's dad, was the most reluctant to accept this. During the Mizuki saga, Choza and his group had wanted to kill Naruto after he stole the scroll. Luckily, Iruka was the one who found Naruto first. Choji argued with him for a while before deciding to leave the clan. Some wanted to test Naruto to see how strong he was. Shibi, Shino's father, was supportive of his decision to serve Naruto. The next day, after their failed invasion of Kanehagakure, the ninja of Sunagakure found the Kazekage's body and the bodies of his assistants in the neighboring desert. The people of Suna realized that Orochimaru, the man who originally proposed the invasion, had killed and impersonated the Kazekage to give the impression of support for the invasion. This revelation, coupled with Suna's devastating losses at the hands of Konoha's ninja, forced the village to surrender unconditionally, which Konoha accepted. The elders returned their hostages, Gaara and Temari. In the council room, because the village was now without a leader, the village elders approached Jiraiya, one of the third Hokage's former pupils, and asked him to become the fifth Hokage. Jiraiya declined the offer, suggesting that another of the third's pupils, Tsunade, would be better suited for the job. Since Tsunade's whereabouts were unknown, Jiraiya offered to go find her, stipulating that he be allowed to bring Naruto Uzumaki. The elders agreed. He looked for Naruto but couldn't find him. He asked Kakashi if he knew where Naruto was, and Kakashi told him to ask one of the stern Ritters. Jiraiya went to the Nara clan compound. When he arrived at Shikamaru's house, he saw him and Shukaku playing shogi. "Jiraiya-sama, what brings you here?" Shukaku asked. "I am here to ask your son a favor," Jiraiya replied. Shukaku guessed it was about Naruto. Shikamaru created a portal for him. "His Majesty is expecting you," he said. "How did he know?" Jiraiya wondered, but he shrugged it off and went through the portal. When Jiraiya arrived, he saw Naruto sitting on a throne. Naruto told Jiraiya he already knew what he wanted to ask of him and agreed to go with him to retrieve Tsunade. "Good, then let's head out," Jiraiya said. Later, two outsiders entered the village, catching the attention of Asuma Sarutobi and Kurenai Yuhi. Once confronted about their presence in Konoha, the two revealed themselves to be Kisame Hashigaki, a renegade ninja from the Mist Village, and Itachi Uchiha, the man who had single-handedly murdered the entire Uchiha clan. Because the two were wanted criminals, Asuma and Kurenai attempted to apprehend them through battle but quickly found themselves outclassed by their enemies. Just as the two Konoha Jonin were about to be defeated, Kakashi Hatake arrived to save them both. His Sharingan made it easier for him to battle Kisame, prompting Itachi to ask Kisame to step down and let him personally take on Kakashi. Despite Kakashi's formidable abilities and advanced proficiency with the Sharingan, Itachi quickly proved to be the superior ninja, displaying far greater speed and superior Sharingan abilities. Kakashi barely managed to block Itachi's attacks. Realizing that Itachi was using only a fraction of his abilities, Kakashi praised him for being so skilled with the Sharingan despite not being of Uchiha blood. However, the moment Itachi activated the Mangekyo Sharingan, Kakashi instructed Asuma and Kurenai to close their eyes to avoid falling prey to Itachi's ultimate technique. Kakashi believed that his Sharingan would allow him to withstand Itachi's jutsu, only to be swiftly proven wrong as Itachi's Tsukuyomi overpowered Kakashi's Sharingan and rendered him helpless. With the little strength he had left, Kakashi asked why the two had come to Konoha, to which Itachi replied that they were after the fourth Hokage's legacy, Naruto Uzumaki. Remembering what Jiraiya had told him earlier, Kakashi recognized this as the goal of their organization, Akatsuki, to gain the power of the nine-tailed demon fox sealed within Naruto. Because of Kakashi's knowledge of their organization and its motives, Itachi instructed Kisame to kill Kakashi, Asuma, and Kurenai. Before Kisame could land a fatal blow, however, Kiba, Akamaru, and Shino appeared. Kiba caught Samehada and declared that Kurenai would not be harmed on his watch. Kurenai thanked her students for coming to her aid. Samehada absorbed a significant amount of Kiba's chakra, relishing the taste. Kisame remarked with a sinister smile that Samehada had taken a liking to Kiba and would drain him dry. Kiba responded defiantly, expressing his eagerness to confront Kisame. The roar that Kiba unleashed blasted Kisame away, and Itachi was also hit, causing his body to disperse into crows. Itachi's body reformed, and he remarked that fighting these brats would be interesting. Kisame, having sustained some damage from Kiba's roar, used the chakra absorbed by Samehada to heal himself. He stood up and told Itachi to stay out of it, insisting that he would take on both Kiba and Akamaru. Akamaru transformed into Kiba, and together they prepared to engage Kisame. Kiba urged Akamaru to get ready, while Shino reminded them not to go overboard, as their majesty had ordered them not to kill. Kiba acknowledged this, and Kisame introduced himself, curious about Kiba's name. Kiba proudly stated that he was Kiba Inuzuka, and the battle was set to begin. A fierce battle was about to unfold between Kiba and Kisame. Kiba, accompanied by his faithful companion Akamaru, had been bestowed with a powerful ability called the Roar by His Majesty Naruto. This ability allowed Kiba to greatly enlarge his size and transform into a more primal, beast-like form that amplified the force of his roars, creating shockwaves capable of overwhelming his opponents. On the other side stood Kisame, a renowned ninja warrior known for his mastery of the water element. He wielded the mighty Samahata, a sentient sword that absorbed chakra, making him a formidable foe in battle. The stage was set for an epic confrontation between these two powerful combatants. Before the battle commenced, Shino took the Jonin to the sidelines. Kiba wasted no time in unleashing the power of the roar. With a thunderous roar that shook the ground, Kiba transformed into his massive, feral form, towering over his opponent with primal ferocity. The shockwave from his roar rippled through the air, creating a powerful blast that threatened to overwhelm Kisame. But Kisame was no ordinary opponent. With a swift water release jutsu, he created a protective barrier of chakra-infused water that absorbed the impact of Kiba's shockwave, shielding him from harm. Undeterred, Kiba charged forward with Akamaru by his side, ready to engage Kisame in close combat. The clash of steel and claws filled the air as the two warriors exchanged blows. Kisame's Samahata clashed against Kiba's claws with a resounding clang, each strike resonating with the intensity of their battle. Akamaru leaped into the fray, his teeth bared as he sought to aid his master in defeating their adversary. As the fight raged on, Kiba and Kisame matched each other blow for blow, each displaying incredible skill and determination. The forest echoed with the sounds of their fierce combat, the clash of elements and steel creating a symphony of chaos. In a daring move, Kiba unleashed another powerful roar, channeling all his strength into a devastating shockwave aimed directly at Kisame. The force of the blast was overwhelming, threatening to engulf Kisame in its destructive power. But Kisame, with his unparalleled mastery of the water element, summoned a massive tidal wave that surged forward to meet Kiba's attack head-on. The clash between the shockwave and the tidal wave created an explosion that sent shockwaves rippling through the forest, toppling trees and shaking the very earth beneath them. Amidst the chaos, Kiba and Kisame continued their battle, each refusing to back down. As the dust settled and the echoes of their battle faded, only one warrior stood victorious. With a primal roar of triumph, Kiba emerged from the wreckage, towering over the defeated Kisame. The power of the roar had proven too much for even the mighty Kisame, and Kiba had emerged victorious in this epic clash. Kurenai felt a mix of pride and sadness as she observed her student's growth. Kiba picked up Kisame and tossed him to Itachi, instructing him to go to Tanzakugai, where Naruto could be found. Itachi declined, disappearing with Kisame instead. After the departure of the Akatsuki members, Shino and Kiba took the Jonin to the hospital. Meanwhile, Kisame had fully recovered and questioned Itachi about calling off their hunt. Itachi nodded, but Zetsu appeared, stating that their leader thought otherwise. Black Zetsu informed them that they, along with Haiden and Kakashi, would take on Naruto Uzumaki and his subordinates, leaving Itachi and Kisame with no choice but to comply. "We have no choice in the matter," Kisame stated firmly. "Fine, but know this, at the first sign of danger, I won't hesitate to abandon you all," Itachi replied, his tone unwavering. As Sasuke walked through the hospital, he discovered that Kakashi was admitted. He learned the circumstances surrounding Kakashi's condition, including the shocking news of Itachi's return and his search for Naruto, which slipped out when Aoba accidentally revealed the truth. Without wasting a moment, Sasuke rushed out of the hospital. He was intercepted by Shino, who offered to guide him to Naruto's location. To be continued. The Almighty Naruto versus the Monster Duo and Zombie Duo. While traveling, Jiraiya kept glancing at Naruto, sensing the Sanin's wariness. Before they arrived in Tanzakugai, Jiraiya asked Naruto about his goal. My goal is to unite all three realms together, Naruto replied. All three realms? Jiraiya questioned. The human world, the afterlife, and the realm of the gods, Naruto explained. This idea unsettled Jiraiya. He knew that something as ambitious as that could lead to severe consequences. Why would you attempt to do something as crazy as that? Jiraiya asked. By merging all three realms together, it will end the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, thus creating a world without death, Naruto stated. Naruto, merging the realms as you desire will not bring peace. It will only bring ruin to the three realms, Jiraiya cautioned, explaining the delicate balance that existed between the realms and how disrupting it could result in catastrophe. You are more than welcome to stop me, Naruto said, releasing his pressure. Jiraiya thought to himself, wondering how Naruto had gained such power. As they continued toward Tenzakugai, Jiraiya reflected on the threat Naruto posed to all the realms. Damn it, why couldn't he be more like his parents? Jiraiya thought. As they neared a hotel, a woman appeared and winked at Jiraiya, causing him to forget the tension he felt. Today we're staying here, Jiraiya announced. Stay here until I come back, he said as he walked away with the woman. Later, Naruto sat in the hallway of the hotel on a throne, eagerly awaiting his foes. The four Akatsuki members appeared, shocked by the sight before them. So you finally arrived, Naruto said as he stood up. The air suddenly turned cold, and the Akatsuki felt an intense pressure. This kid is a monster, Kisame thought. Naruto stopped releasing his pressure and created a portal. Follow me, he instructed before stepping through the portal. The Akatsuki members exchanged glances. Let's retreat. This battle will surely not end in our favor, Itachi suggested. Oh, are we being cowards? Hayden teased. Hayden, this isn't the time for jokes, Kakuzu replied. I agree. This isn't worth the risk, another member added. Well then, if we are on the verge of losing, we retreat, Kisame concluded. You are all just a bunch of cowards. Forget retreating, I will sacrifice that kid to Lord Jashin, Hayden declared. Then die for all I care, Kakuzu shot back. Like that's going to happen, Hayden smirked. They went through the portal, which led them to the forest they had passed on their way to Tenzakugai. Naruto, the all-seeing and omnipotent leader of the Quincy, stood firm with unwavering confidence. On the opposing side, the Akatsuki Itachi, Kisame, Kazu, and Hayden gathered with determination etched on their faces, ready to face this formidable foe. Naruto's eyes glowed with an eerie intensity, his ability to foresee all outcomes giving him an unparalleled advantage on the battlefield. With a mere glance, he could unravel the strategies of his opponents, leaving them at his mercy. As the Akatsuki members launched their coordinated attacks, Naruto effortlessly countered each move, his movements fluid and precise. Itachi, the prodigious Uchiha, used his Sharingan to cast illusions and genjutsu in an attempt to deceive Naruto. However, the Quincy King's senses allowed him to see through the illusions effortlessly, countering with swift and devastating blows that pushed Itachi to his limits. Kisame, the monstrous swordsman of the Akatsuki, unleashed waves of water-style jutsu in a relentless assault. Yet, Naruto's ability to manipulate his powers allowed him to deflect the attacks, turning Kisame's own water against him with deadly accuracy. Kazu, the mercenary with multiple hearts and forbidden jutsu, launched a barrage of elemental attacks, his tendrils of black threads seeking to bind Naruto. But the Quincy King's precognitive abilities proved too advanced, dodging each strike with calculated grace and launching devastating counterattacks that left Kakuzu reeling. Hayden, the immortal zealot with a penchant for blood rituals, attempted to land his deadly curse technique on Naruto, aiming to end the battle in one decisive slide. However, Naruto's eyes saw through the ritual's mechanics, and with a single swift movement, he incapacitated Hayden, leaving him powerless to continue the fight. As the battle raged on, it became clear that the Akatsuki's efforts were futile against Naruto's transcendent abilities. With each passing moment, the Quincy King's dominance grew more apparent, his all-seeing eyes leaving no room for error. In a desperate gambit, Itachi unleashed his most powerful genjutsu, hoping to trap Naruto in an illusion from which he could not escape. But even this was foreseen by Naruto, who shattered the illusion with a single glance. Seeing that Naruto was about to unleash a powerful attack, Itachi quickly cast his most potent technique. Unfortunately, it dissipated harmlessly. Realizing he needed to take drastic measures, Itachi summoned his ultimate defense. Naruto fired his attack at Itachi, who reflected it with his own technique, which tore through Naruto's body. Not wanting to take any chances, Itachi attempted to seal Naruto with a powerful weapon. Haha, it's pointless, Naruto laughed. No, it can't be, Itachi thought, feeling a sense of dread. Naruto's body healed almost instantly. With a mere thought, Itachi's defense vanished, leaving him vulnerable. Itachi fell to the ground, coughing hysterically. Naruto commended Itachi for his efforts, although they were ultimately in vain. The battle concluded with Naruto standing victorious over his fallen adversaries, his all-seeing eyes a testament to his unrivaled power and foresight. The Akatsuki's valiant efforts had proven futile against the Quincy King's overwhelming might, a stark reminder of the threat he posed to the worlds. Shino arrived with Sasuke at his side. Itachi, Sasuke thought, seeing his brother at the mercy of Naruto. What is that thing? Sasuke asked. That's His Majesty Naruto, Shino replied. Naruto, Sasuke thought, feeling a mix of emotions. To be continued. In the eerie silence of a desolate battlefield, Shino Aburame, the Quincy known as the Fear, and Itachi Uchiha, the legendary shinobi, faced each other with unwavering determination. Each exuded an aura of formidable power, ready to unleash their deadliest techniques upon their opponent. Shino, with a sinister smile, unleashed his fear-inducing thorns, aiming to pierce Itachi's psyche and plunge him into the depths of terror. Itachi, however, remained composed, his Sharingan ablaze with determination as he anticipated Shino's assault. As Shino's thorns closed in, Itachi attempted to trap him in a genjutsu, but to no avail. Shino's Quincy abilities proved to be a formidable defense against Itachi's illusions, shrugging off the mental assault with a chilling laugh. Seeing an opening, Shino activated his full power, enveloping himself in a shroud of dark energy. With wings of shadow unfurled, he soared toward Itachi, ready to unleash his full might. Itachi, realizing the gravity of the situation, summoned his ultimate defense. But before he could use his most powerful technique, Shino overwhelmed him. Itachi found himself trapped in a nightmare of his own making. The fears of his past, the massacre of his clan, and his own mortality began to surface. As Shino closed in, Itachi's resolve wavered, his will faltering in the face of overwhelming terror. With a final, desperate struggle, Itachi attempted to break free, but it was too late. Shino's thorns pierced Itachi's body, delivering the final blow. As Itachi fell, defeated by the relentless onslaught of fear, Shino stood victorious, his dark laughter echoing across the battlefield. The once indomitable Uchiha had been defeated, his spirit broken by Shino's unyielding power. As Shino vanished into the shadows, he left behind only echoes of fear and the lingering memory of his triumph over one of the greatest shinobi to ever live. Naruto lifted his foot above Itachi's head, declaring that just a simple stomp was all it took to end the source of Itachi's suffering. His inquiry pierced the silence, laden with unsettling gravity. The request to end Itachi's life hung heavy in the air, igniting a spark of defiance within Sasuke's heart. Sasuke asserted that he would be the one to kill Itachi. Suddenly, Itachi and the other Akatsuki members disappeared. Sasuke demanded to know where Itachi was and what Naruto had done to him. Naruto reassured him to relax, explaining that he had teleported Itachi away to safety, stating it would be boring to let Sasuke kill his brother in his weakened state. Sasuke retorted that even if he hated Itachi, he wouldn't do something that cowardly. Naruto undid his transformation, and the eyes and black substance vanished. He then asked Shino to assist Jiraiya in locating Tsunade. With a nod, Shino responded that he understood. Naruto created a portal and returned to his palace. Sasuke seized the moment to ask Shino about Naruto. He inquired about Naruto's power and how he had changed. Shino confirmed that Naruto had undergone a significant transformation, now wielding a power unlike anything they had seen before. Sasuke pressed for details, asking what had happened to Naruto and why he seemed so different. Shino paused, considering his response, and explained that it was complicated. Naruto had awakened the power of his ancestor Yhwach. Sasuke was intrigued by the mention of Yhwach, who was described as a very powerful man. Shino elaborated that before Yhwach died, he scattered pieces of his soul to his descendants, and the current wielder of those fragments was Naruto. Sasuke realized that Naruto's ancestor was influencing him, and Shino noted that due to Yhwach's influence, Naruto had become more focused, determined, and perhaps more dangerous. Sasuke contemplated the idea of seeking power from Naruto, recognizing the allure of strength but also the weight of potential consequences. Accepting power from Naruto meant more than just an increase in strength. It meant becoming Naruto's servant, bound to his will and agenda. For now, Sasuke decided to bide his time, observing Naruto's actions and assessing the true extent of his power. Only then could he make an informed choice about his own path forward. As Jiraiya arrived at the scene of the recent clash, he inquired about Naruto's whereabouts. Shino responded that Naruto had gone to rest. Coupled with Kakashi's prior information about Naruto's need for rest, this sparked a somber realization within Jiraiya. Naruto's newfound power came at a cost. The realization that Naruto's incredible power came with a significant weakness brought an unexpected sense of relief to Jiraiya. It wasn't that he took pleasure in Naruto's vulnerability, but rather that it offered a glimmer of hope in their struggle against him. Could this weakness be the key to stopping him? The mere possibility sent a shiver down Jiraiya's spine, mingling with a sense of relief he dared not acknowledge fully. With a heavy heart, he acknowledged the necessity of preventing Naruto from achieving his ambitions, knowing full well the catastrophic consequences they could unleash upon the world. Yet, despite his determination, Jiraiya understood that even if he were to locate Naruto in his current state, the Stern Ritters would stop him. Relief washed over him upon learning of Naruto's weakness, offering a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak situation. Jiraiya enlisted the aid of Shino and Sasuke in his quest to locate Tsunade. As Jiraiya reluctantly agreed to take Shino along on their journey, a flicker of distrust lingered in his gaze. Together, they embarked on their journey. Eventually, Jiraiya, Sasuke, and Shino located their elusive target. As they approached her table, Tsunade glanced up, curiosity etching lines of intrigue across her features. Jiraiya greeted her warmly, and Shizune echoed the sentiment. However, Tsunade's skepticism was evident as she inquired about their sudden visit. Jiraiya's expression darkened as he delivered the grim news of Hiruzen's passing. Shock rippled through the air, palpable in the stunned silence that followed, and both Shizune and Tsunade were saddened by this revelation. But amidst the somber atmosphere, Jiraiya wasted no time in revealing the elder's decision. The announcement hung heavy in the air, and Tsunade didn't think twice before refusing. Shino stepped forward, his tone monotone as he stated that if she wouldn't come willingly, he would have to take her back to Konoha by force. Tsunade's gaze hardened as she looked at him, challenging him to try. As tensions escalated, Jiraiya moved to intervene, only to find himself unceremoniously shoved aside by Tsunade's powerful blow. She gestured towards the door, suggesting they settle this outside. With a nod of agreement, Shino followed Tsunade as she exited the bar. As the tension crackled in the air, Tsunade's steely gaze bore into Shino, a silent challenge hanging between them. She declared that it was time to put him in his place and teach him to respect his elders. Jiraiya, watching from the sidelines with a heavy heart, knew the gravity of the situation. He understood all too well that the power wielded by Naruto's Stern Ritters was no joke, and he braced himself for the inevitable clash that would ensue. Tsunade unleashed a barrage of devastating blows, her fists fueled by raw power and unbridled fury. But Shino, using Hirenkyaku, dodged her attacks easily. Deciding to fight back, he enhanced himself with his Ryoryoku. As Tsunade surged forward with unparalleled strength, Shino met her head-on, his enhancements compensating for his lack of taijutsu skills. He engaged her in a frenzied taijutsu battle, and with each exchange, the air crackled with the clash of their blows, the sheer force of their strikes sending shockwaves rippling through the area. Shino's movements became a blur as he countered Tsunade's attacks with lightning-fast strikes of his own, while Tsunade absorbed the hits. Despite her raw power and skill, Shino held his own against the legendary Sannin, his enhancements proving to be a formidable match for her unparalleled strength. With each clash, Shino pressed his advantage, exploiting gaps in Tsunade's defenses and launching counterattacks with precision. After distancing himself from her, he pulled out his cross and formed a bow. Spiritual particles permeated the air as he unleashed a volley of arrows aimed at his opponent. Tsunade managed to dodge some of the arrows, but several found their mark. Despite the pain, she wasted no time in pulling out the arrows, her body quickly healing the wounds inflicted by Shino's assault. The two resumed their combat. Shino kept his distance, using his arrows to keep Tsunade at bay. She took some hits in order to reach him. Tsunade's fist halted mere inches from Shino's face, and a chill crept over her skin as she felt an unfamiliar sensation wash over her. "My body feels like it's freezing," Tsunade remarked, her voice tinged with uncertainty. "Were those arrows covered with some kind of poison?" Shino's response was calm and measured. He acknowledged her observation. "You're wondering if it's poison, aren't you? It's not. The feeling you're experiencing now is fear." "Fear?" Tsunade questioned. Shino nodded, his gaze steady. "My rapier is special. It has the unique effect of striking fear into my opponents," he explained. In an instant, Tsunade was enveloped in a maelstrom of fear-induced illusions, her mind besieged by haunting visions of her deepest fears. Images of past failures and lost loved ones filled her mind, threatening to overwhelm her. As Tsunade grappled with the onslaught of fear, Shino watched, his expression unreadable. Tsunade's screams echoed through the night, and Jiraiya and Shizune watched with growing concern, their worry etched into their expressions. The sight of their esteemed comrade writhing in distress from Shino's mental torment filled them with a sense of helplessness. "Shino, enough!" Jiraiya called out, his voice heavy with authority. "The fight is over. She's suffered enough." But Shino remained resolute, his gaze unwavering as he refused to yield. "She needs to face her fears," he insisted. Jiraiya's frustration mounted as he realized the extent of Shino's resolve. He knew that forcing the boy to stop would be futile, especially considering the immense power he wielded. Sasuke, observing the scene with a sympathetic gaze, felt a pang of recognition stir within him. He remembered all too well the torment he had endured during the Chunin exams, facing his own inner demons. Seeing Tsunade in a similar state struck a chord within him, stirring feelings of empathy. As the tension hung heavy in the air, Jiraiya and Shizune could only watch, their hearts heavy with concern for their friend and master. In that moment, they realized that Tsunade's battle was not just against Shino, but against the demons that haunted her past, threatening to consume her from within.